Ugh. Everyone's just going to see how scared I am of opening these bottles. I really hate that this is the case. Because I'm not a dad that lives in the suburbs. It's always, I'll handle this one, mate. Thanks, Pops. But desperate times call for celebratory measures. Hell yeah. This is a rental. That was not a good idea to get that documented on film nonetheless. You know what this is in reference to, right? Well, I'm assuming that you do, seeing as it's played all over the news. So much so that when I was walking to the bottle-o to get this, I came across 4 people, 2 guys walking past, skatey guys going, yeah. Then another guy saying, bet you're chaff today, mate. And I was. And then I walked into PWS and the guy says, think I know why you're in here, mate. And directs me to the champagne, of which I bought the cheapest because I reward service. Now, let's just go through the big headline here. Did you know that Gladys Berejiklian just stepped down? Wasn't expecting that. Was expecting it at some time, but I thought it would be closer to the election. But ICAC, thank God for those guys. Isn't that just the institutional equivalent of Wile E. Coyote holding a stick of dynamite in a cave and then it blowing up in his face? That was designed to get a bunch of Labour MPs out, and it's gotten a fraction of what the scalps that it is claimed, including a premier. Because, yeah, she's going to say that history's going to prove me right. She can say a little "Don't cry for me, Argentina" now. But that's because people still remember her. What's going to happen in a year? Interesting times ahead. But there's just a couple of notes that I think that we really should go past, which is, my God, the press did everything they could to keep you in the dark about that. Remember when ICAC first started fishing around? And this is actually when people started thinking, nah, like, she's got a use-by date on her. She is the cottage cheese of premiers at this point. There is going to be a point where the axe is going to have to fall down. And I honestly thought when I heard that she was making an announcement about it today that she was just going to fight it out to the bitter end and say, no, well, I've got nothing else going on in my life. May as well just stay out here. Maybe COVID's going to be so bad when we reopen that this is just a more graceful way of leaving on corruption suspicion. But, yeah, look, essentially, just as a little debrief, obviously the whole Daryl Maguire incident and then the press running it as... we've all had a bastard of a man in our life in the past. Can't we all just learn to forgive? Yes. Being the Premier of New South Wales should be reduced to being a main character on Neighbours. Top job there, Sydney Morning Herald. Really holding them to account with all of your fancy lunches with her. And look, if you need any more proof of that, Fin Review, which is basically just the Sydney Morning Herald for the CBD region. Look at that. On the day that she resigned, Australia's most powerful people, Gladys Berejiklian in the corner looking like a member of BTS. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They would have known that she was going to step down. That's the kind of gossip that circulates around Parliament, and yet, what do they put at the front? Still one of the most powerful people. Well, we already made the headline. We may as well just get it out. How about you inform the public, eh? Then they wouldn't be watching me, and I could get back to reviewing maths. It's unbelievable. We shouldn't have even gotten to this stage where ICAC is just saying, no, like, we're going ahead with this. You had your chance to step down gracefully. If there was a skerrick of an honest press in this country, she would have stepped down a year ago. The problem is, her stepping down a year ago means that all the shit kickers that you don't even know about start shuffling up to the top. They're going to make their little conga line up there. Stay tuned for Matt Keane. Where's he going to go, eh? Keen on Keane. The Sydney Morning Herald is. You know, he's going to get a fat promotion. He's one of the factional bosses out there that'll be pulling the strings behind the scenes. So, look, let's just be honest. Even though we... You know, it's a leadership suspicion, we all know it, but like, come on, it's Dom Perrottet that's taken the reins. Look at how much coverage that guy has gotten ever since this ICAC stuff started happening on Channel 9. You'll see it every single night. The Treasurer of New South Wales, just constantly in a helicopter, inspecting a new hospital. I mean, yeah, I suppose you could make the argument, yep, I paid for all of that, but that's not usually what happens. It's usually the Premier that's doing that. They're obviously setting him up for the next reign. But the one that we're like really keen on is this David Elliott character. Stay tuned for that. Let's see where he lands because, buddy, we've got stories on you. It's a great day for New South Wales.